Hello, everybody. Let's wait until others show up. Jeremy out if you can. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Hi, COVID. How you doing? We're waiting for others to show up. Let's see who else is here. If you just subscribe, I have 5 minute put on for new subscribers because we know some of the Hexicans might be coming in. Okay, thank you, COVID. We're to start on this. I had some people come forward tell me I was correct about Richard Hart and the Hex program. The let me see where it is. The SEC charges Hex founder Richard Hart with misappropriating millions of dollars of investor funds from unregistered crypto asset securities offerings that raised more than $1 billion. You could see why he was charged. On July 31st, 2023, the Securities and Exchange Commission charged Richard Hart, aka Richard Schuler, and three unincorporated entities that he controls, Hex, Pulsane, and PulseX, with conducting unregistered offerings of crypto asset securities that raised more than $1 billion in crypto assets from investors. The SEC also charged Hart and Pulsane with fraud for misappropriating at least 12 million of offerings proceeds to purchase luxury goods, including sports cars, watches, and a 555 carat black diamond known as the Enigma, reportedly the largest black diamond in the world. So these are very serious charges on Richard Hart. I know that there are some people that I know were in the paranormal community, the magnet community, and all these other communities were, on YouTube was interested in this hex pulsing scheme that was supposed to be encrypted like Bitcoin, but it's supposed to be different from Bitcoin. And according to the SEC's complaint, Hart began marketing Hex in 2018, claiming it was the first high-yield blockchain certificate of deposit, and began promoting Hex tokens as an investment designed to make people rich. From at least December 2019 through November 2020, Hart and Hex allegedly offered and sold Hex tokens in an unregistered offering, collecting more than 2.3 million Ethereum, including through so-called recycling transactions that enable Hart to surreptitiously gain control of more Hex tokens. The complaint also alleged that between at least July 2024 and March 2022, Hart orchestrated two additional unregistered crypto asset security offerings that each raised hundreds of millions of dollars more into crypto assets, and alleged those funds were intended to support the development of supposed crypto asset network Pulsate and the claimed crypto asset trading platform Pulsex through the offering of their native tokens, respectively PLS and PLSX. Hart also allegedly designed and marketed a so-called staking feature for Hex tokens, which he claimed would deliver returns as high as 38%. The complaint further alleges that Hart attempted to evade security laws by calling on investors to sacrifice instead of invest their crypto assets in exchange for PLS and PLSX tokens. What does that stands for? High Yield Investment Program. It's called High Investment Program or HIAP type. What is a HIAP program? What is a high yield investment program? A HIAP. A high yield investment program, HIAP, is a fraudulent investment scheme that purports to deliver extraordinary high returns on an investment. HIAPs often advertise yields of more than 100% per year in order to tempt investors. They regularly use new investors' money to pay off long-standing investors. Monies received in such schemes aren't actually invested. HIAPs should not be confused with legitimate high-yield bond investment, which offers higher than investment-grade bond interest rates. Key takeaways: our high-yield investment program, HIAP, is a fraudulent investment scheme that promises high returns, often in excess of 100%. Most HIAPs are Ponzi schemes where the organizers take money from new investors to pay returns to established investors. HIAPs are often known as prime bank scams, typically involve the alleged trading or insurance of prime bank financial securities. They may include references to prime European or prime world bank instruments. One side of a HIAP includes excessive guaranteed returns, fixtures, financial state instruments, extreme secrecy, claims of an exclusive opportunity, and inordinate investment complexity. Sometimes these Ponzi schemes are like pyramid schemes. Butcher Hart is on top, and everybody who comes in at last would lose out of the monies when the money is long gone. Hives are Ponzi schemes. The organizer of such schemes aim to steal the money provided by the investors that they deceive. In the Ponzi scheme, money from new investors is used to pay returns to more established investors. Money is not invested and no actual underlying returns are ever earned. Of course, they use the internet. A lot of these Hayek's programs appeared before 2010. A lot of the between 2000 and 2010, which is a lot of where work at home programs started, and some of these were quick rich schemes like the MLMs and Hayeks and all that. Now, Richard Hart or Schuler have a history. Let me see. Hex founder, dang, found to be notorious criminal. Ex-founder outed as a spam king. Hart was successfully sued by Peacefire.org in 2002 for violating Washington state's anti-spam laws. Yet Hart's dark past as a spam king might be the least worrying fact to emerge. There were screenshots from 2005 exposed Richard James Schuler as a spam king, which is George Panama guy on Reddit. Richard Hart's real name is Richard J. Schuler, was investigated by authorities in Panama for theft and extortion. Panama is the country. Hart has had multiple aliases from James Hart, J. Richard, and Richard Schuler. Hart's supposed cohorts include robbers, blackmailers, and corrupt government officials. There's been a Google Groups post made by Miguel Antonio Bernal in 2007 references Hart Schuler as belonging to a new breed of thieves. The post describes the process by which American criminals flooded Panama to rob, cheat, and blackmail local businessmen using Panama's legal system. Coffee Jilla have been talking about these crypto scammers using Panama to hide their illegal businesses. So this is not new. Um, a brief of history. A brief history summary of Hart's activity in Panama in the mid 2000s. Hart now operates as a thought leader in cryptocurrency space, but while Satoshi Nakamoto was working on Bitcoin, Hart was hawking anti-Asian remedies. Methuselah Foundation, for which Hart apparently volunteered, is committed to extending the human lifespan and making 90 the new 50. The image here were from video shot of Richard Hart between the time of his band king to crypto thought leader. And to me, it's not surprising to me because I heard of Richard Schuller before I even heard of Hex. I was in I would I would sign up to one of these work from home newsletter emails back in the days. And was one I've seen before in one of the newsletters. I I remember this email. Learn how to spam and make a fortune. Send millions of bulk emails every day and make thousands per week. Hello, future spamming partner. My name is Richard Schuller. I'm a 23-year-old multimillionaire, and I'm inviting you to learn how to spam millions of people per day, like I do with my online pharmacy business. My company, Efficient System, sends over 600 million spam emails per day, every single day through a rapidly growing network of savvy, aggressive worldwide marketing partners. We are directly responsible for up to 70% of the online Viagra and pharmacy sales on the net today, and by far the largest email marketing operation of this kind in the world, bar none. We teach you how to spam and provide you with all the tools you need to order to make thousands of dollars per week. Email marketing has made my company the largest online pharmacy built on a solid foundation of bulk email marketing, doing $60 million per year and growing. We rock. We'll show you insider secrets of how to successfully send millions of emails every day to AOL, Hotmail, and Yahoo to millions of eager and receptive customers who are almost dying to get our free prescription online pharmaceutical. Just jump on this spam and bandwagon now. We are so successful because no one can bring us down, and two, because we kick behind these with our hacker-proof and anti-spammer-proof sales websites. And because when you get right down to it, people are like sheep, and if the sheep get enough email shoved at them, the sheep will become customers. It's that simple, and it's the key to our success and the prosperity of our partners. We just kicked off a drive to recruit thousands of new sales partners and affiliates. Some of our larger spammers are being paid 55,000 per week. Contact us now. So these links you see is his Richard's online pharmacy websites. The thing is, once the legit websites like the Get Paid to Read, Get Paid to Search, AutoServe, things like that, decided to start banning all these stuff like these ads for online pharmacies and all that. It was another way that Richard Hart was wanting to get his websites out, since it was being cracked down in the mid 2000s about the online pharmacies and all that, because they could be fake stuff that could harm you. So that's one thing that stop. But how did Richard Hart get all that money between the spam and the crypto site? Of course, with this Get Paid to Home programs, some of the other things that pop up are the MLMs and Hypes of that time. While the legit sites pay to read programs outright ban Hypes and MLMs and all that, Richard Hart went to promote over to that part of the area. It's probably the reason why he came up with the idea of how the Hex program. So next is the even though he said it's 38% returns a year, but back in the before 2010s, that more than 20% returns are usually fraudulent as well. I've seen a lot of those Hypes back in that had like 25% returns, 20% returns, all failed and collapsed. And a lot of the people were scammed out of the money. So 38% return is still a little too high. It's too good to be sound true. So when I first heard of Hex last year, I said the feds would start cracking down on this. People didn't believe me, but once late last year rolled around, that some of top of Hex influencers were talked to by the feds. And then on July 31st, the SEC sued Richard Hart and his Hex programs. So that's the Hex diamond right there. And for the past year, HEX on the stock market went down. Okay, here's what the from Reuters. U.S. SEC says HEX crypto founder defrauded investors, spent money on Enigma Diamond. So even the major news agencies reporting it. My last live stream that I did on a history of ego to HEX and all that. Hi, Treeland, how you doing? That anything would happen to HEX, and it did. What's going to happen next? It depends. Yeah, I'm doing real, Treeland. What I'm thinking of with the HEX going down like it is, either Richard Heart get the ego treatment, or he would get the Liberty Reserve treatment. First, what happened to Liberty Reserve? The founders, they were raided. They were located in a Central American country. They were sued first. Then they had criminal charges brought against them. And now they went to court. They were found guilty. And they're in prison right now, the founders of Liberty Reserve. What Richard Heart could be facing could be years and years in jail, in prison, if they could decide to go full-blown criminal charges against him. I know what's going to happen if they do bring criminal charges. They're going to freeze all the assets of HEX, Paul Singh, and all that. Freeze all of Richard Hart's money. Freeze all the investors' money in that program. And that probably bring charges against the top influencers of HEX. And one thing it's going to do is going to be years and years down the road that people who invested in this will start receiving some of their money back. They're going to have losses for investing in it. People that do these type of rich schemes sometimes targeted the vulnerable, like people with disabilities, people on fixed income, people that are elderly. cash strap, you name it. What they're do is try and get milk all the money that they can at the top. As it is, as what Richard Hart been doing, and some of the other people that in the past that were charged, like the FTX crypto guy, took the money and um, buy his buy stuff like expensive cars, expensive homes, Rolexes, diamonds, you name it. And it's just sad that these scammers like to prey on vulnerable people, thinking that they could get rich quick, which is not. It's you could do work. Yeah, right, Treeland. It's okay to do hard work because hard work sometimes gets you somewhere. The easy route is not the easy route because the easy route sometimes gets you down in a dark hole, like criminal activities, scamming people, things like that. And with what's going on with the FTX going down, the Hex, some other Beyonce issue, some of these, yeah, Treeland, that's right. And all these other things in the past and in the future, a lot of these scam, Hex, tokens, whatever, crypto, even Logan Paul on YouTube is under controversy for promoting his own crypto coin. And that is a problem because they're using the social media like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, things like that to promote these things. And we know there's some people here on YouTube that in the paranormal community and that also got invested into this. And this is to help you all out what to expect, what's going to happen in the future if things leads out what I think it's going to lead out to. Some of you who did invest in this, you may have lost some money. Some who did invest in it and thought you want to invest in it, you may want to have a second thought of investing right now. With all these legal issues around, you don't know what's going to happen. And right now, yeah, Treeland. And with this awareness and other awareness, we have to think about what is helpful, what is to help others. We we could give warning about these things. We could give a heads up to others, show others that we do care, and we don't want to see them lose money that they didn't have to lose money on. We always have people got scammed on online through so many different things. We have to try and see who can we trust, who we can't trust. Do research on these programs to see what it's going to be like. Once you understand what's going on, like I have since 2001, seen all these different programs, get rich scheme programs, the MLMs, HIAPs, you name it, all crashed and burned. Lots of people lost a lot of money. The feds in so many countries shut people down. There's only a few programs left that's online, like PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Money Bookers, which is something else now, Google Pay, things like that. And everything else that kept pop up before PayPal is all long gone. Some of these programs were legit, but they couldn't stop the illegal activity as best as they could, which took them down. Now, with so many things going on, celebrities are being sued left and right for promoting these programs. There are some of the celebrities who have endorsed FTX, also endorsed Hex. And sometimes some of these influencers are the same influencers of all these different programs out there. Like who promoted influence Hex also influenced some other people. It's cryptocurrency too. Like I said with the Hex deal, some of the crypto high yield investment program is like Hex is and other things. They're not legal. That's why Richard Hart is being charged as it is with these allegedly charged with these accusation of defrauding his investors. And when that is said and done, a lot of people would lose money in all these programs. And from what I could tell now, for recent years, the feds in several countries are finally catching up with these characters from like 20 years ago. It's finally started to charge them with criminal activities. Excuse me. There we go. And as it is, there's something else that's going to be coming up soon. Mired in controversy, a film gives Hex and Richard Hart the Hollywood treatment. The A new documentary attempts to give voice to advocates and critics of the controversial Hex founder, but how much is really up for debate? On a recent Friday evening at the downtown Las Vegas multiplex, a flock of men in bright neon weaved hit their way through crowds of pink-clad Barbie revelers and fedora donning would-be fathers of the atomic bomb en route to a screening that featured their own hero. Their protagonist of choice was Richard Schuler, aka Richard Hart, the gaudy crypto shock jock best known for founding Hex, a cryptocurrency that gained both steam and fraud acquisition in equal measure after launching in 2019 with promises of 1,400% returns. It was premiere night for the highest stakes, a documentary about Hart that, according to one high-octane trailer, promised to interrogate whether the man had engineered the investment of a lifetime or the steal of the century. So, so that documentary film is going to have both sides of the information. And now, for everybody, okay, that go back to the SEC side. The SEC complaint filed in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of New York alleges that Hart, Hex, Pulsate, and Pulse violated the registration provision of Section 5 of the Securities Act of 1933. The complaint also alleges that Hart and Pulsate violated the anti-fraud provision of the federal security laws. The complaint seeks injunction relief, disgorgement, of ill-gotten gains plus prejudgment interest, penalties, and other equitable relief. The SEC's continuing investigation is being conducted by Jamie Marinaro and Derek Kleinman of the Fort Worth Regional Office with assistance from Jamie Hossecker. The investigation is supervised by Sarah S. Mallet and Eric Warner of the Fort Worth Regional Office and by George A.G. Turner and David Hurst of the Crypto Assets and Cyber Unit. The litigation will be conducted by Matthew J. Gill and supervised by B. David Fraser. And they have, if you are an investor in Hex, Pulsate, or Proxys, or if you have information related to this investigation and you wish to contact the SEC staff and they have submit a tip at SEC Gov report suspected security fraud or wrongdoing. So now that little more information is that it could be led that all the access could be frozen soon. And the website could be taken over by the feds. Usually. And nobody could invest or withdraw from the HEX or anything. So that means in the future, HEX will be no more. And pulsing and all that. It's going to be very much all our legal issues that Richard Hart is in. It could be more issues that we don't know until his court case, Richard Hart's court case is on November 28th. I'll do a follow-up video then to let you know what's going on. And no, I'm not a true crime deal, but it is something that I have seen in the past in the field that I was doing it to earn little extra money in the pay-to-read programs and that. And like I said in the title, Richard Hart from Spam King to Scam King. That's how nefarious Richard Hart is, with all these different aliases and all that. All he cared about was getting quick rich. Get rich quick. Sorry about that. And that's what he did, and it bit him finally. This is much more serious charges than the spam that he got convicted of back in the early 2000s. And any of the emails that you got from back then about the pharmaceutical spam emails, about those pharmaceuticals products, I bet you it came from Richard Hart himself, his company himself. He seems to know how to hide himself from time to time. But now he can't hide himself now. Any questions? Okay. If that's all I'll review what I have said. In early 2001, he was convicted of spamming. Then he got rich quickly. He got into the work at home stuff to try and hawk his stuff. You're welcome, True Lynn. Take care and have a good night. Um, he got into the work from home deal, pushing his website. When that got banned, he moved on to things like the MLMs and Hypes. Some of the MLMs is usually medical stuff or pharmaceutical claims, which are usually fraudulent. What you wonder what MLMs are? It's multi-level marketing, and there's sometimes pyramid schemes too. It's not like those timeshares. And then he disappeared, and then he showed up around 2015, going attacking Bitcoin. In 2018, he created Hex. So there are some timeline that's missing, and I forgot the late 2000 about the Panama criminal activity. So, as we see, if you want to learn more about some of these other characters, like Richard Hart, CoffeeZilla is let me see. CoffeeZilla will give you more background of the other people, scammers out there that's in crypto and all that. And you could see there's more Panama connection involved with some of these scammers that he brought up on there. And and that's all I have on Richard Hart until November. And this Friday, I'm going to be having another live stream. It will be about mental health, people with disabilities, the trolling, and all that. It needs to be stopped because I'm seeing a lot of people with autism being attacked on YouTube right now by these trolls. if it's Gemma, Rosie, and Homeless in America, Kyle of KK's travels and vlogs, you name it, vlogs, you name it. People need to stop being cyberbullying people with disabilities. Yes, some of us are slow and slow learners. It doesn't mean you have to be mean and true to them. And taking advantage of these people, making fun of them, making clones and causing problems in the other live streams of that needs to stop. This is why I'm going to cover it this Friday, and I'm going to see if I could get any of the others to come and talk, like KK and Rosie and them on the panel, so that we could talk on this. And right now, I would say next Friday at the same time I start tonight, 7 p.m. Central, we're going to cover this awareness. And I thank you, everybody who showed up. Peace, love, show some positivity to others, and spread the light and laughter to help cheer people up. There's lots of people that's grieving right now because they lost loved ones and all that. And we need to take of those others in our prayer thoughts and prayers. And I thank you. Good night, and see you Friday. Bye.